When I got here, there was dust in my eyes. Still tired from riding westward on nights that burned to ghost towns. To create something is to cut a piece of yourself for the world to hate. I saddle my poems and ride, and I promised to never turn back on the 10-gallon shadows of my past. There is enough dust in my footprints to cover the city and back. I don't look back when I write poems. Like a 10-step draw in high noon, let a word turn and shoot. Welcome to the trough of my book, where stanzas hang their horse necks on a desert. My paragraphs broken like saloon doors from a snakeskin boot. Any traveler knows second guessing is death, so saddle your story and ride. Holy riders of the West and riders of heaven, the ones that bind books and shoot revolvers of ink to speak of time. There is something permanent about ink settling, like a stampede of the sun and God's watching. Even the warden knows our names by now, and the world like vultures for the poems of men, picking their hearts in harmony of tombs. No, I don't look back when I write, because the sun sets before death and poetry is outlawed by morning. I saddle stitch my town to the next desert and ride, and I write for the reward on my head like piles of gold for the banks I've robbed, which our hearts gone wild. You know, my story is traveler dust, and the story of poets and outlaws. Our books carrying sunrise on hooves and died thirsty. There is nothing permanent about our saddles and ink, but they move like horses. And every metaphor for silver is burned in the morgue of tomorrow. I keep riding to get there. Sun-kissed lips on the frontier of night. I'm born this way, made to be a bandit, shooting piano keys from the rust of my skin, stealing poems and tongues to sell, scriptures of the night that broke my hands to epitaphs, and the gallows of my sins still pale from spit I won't swallow. You know, I've broke before, only to realize all that's left is acceptance. So tell me the paperback ghost story of your mother. I'm more than open to die tonight on this book of sunrise. Our horses riding to the last town of God, silver bullets in our teeth and fury of wind. Stitch your story and ride like hell. Be the wind and ride for a cause. Write this down, die in a book and phoenix your way into another heart. I've done this before. Die for a poem and be reborn an outlaw. I know the story already. It was written by the boots of God, draped in dirt and filling my eyes with dust.